Paddy, just to run through a quick Q&A with you, and you can do as quick or as long an answer as you want. The first one is, what do you remember of your first time ever at Croke Park? As a player, as a fan, whatever it might be.
Ooh, first time. I think it could have been, what was it? One of the first memories I would have had, I think it was Tyrone, maybe in '04, I'm going to say, when Mayo won. I think it was a quarter final against Tyrone. That was one. I think they could have been reigning All Ireland champions at the time. So that was a great win over that time. So that would have been one of my first memories, I'd say, of it anyway. So yeah, that was a great day, a great win in a quarter final, I think.
Who would be your favourite player of all time?
Probably Tomas O'Shea.
Oh yeah? Why
Yeah.
so?
I loved the way, I suppose, he drove at teams and just very good for getting up, getting a score, great output around the field, and just teak tough, and always drove his team on. So I suppose I like the attributes he had.
Yeah, and he's a very stylish solo on the
Yeah,
ball. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So big fan of him. Yeah.
yeah. Who's the most famous person that follows you online?
Jesus. Uh, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I'm gonna say um, probably Aidan O'Shea. He seems to have a lot of followers, so I'm gonna go Aidan O'Shea maybe. He'd be
Who?
happy for the shout out too, I think.
He certainly will.
Yeah.
Who's been your toughest opponent and why?
Toughest opponent. I thought Stephen Campbell was very good at playing around qualifiers a couple of years ago. He was right up there now. A hard day on him. He was a brilliant player. So I'm gonna say him.
What team do you most like to beat? This can be club or county.
Uh, any team that gives us a championship medal.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You've kind of gone for a soft one on me there.
Yeah, I don't want to give fuel for fire for somebody else, you know.
What's your proudest day ever on the field? Club or county or college or whatever.
Let me think. Winning the winning the Connacht title against St. Bridget's was a big one for the club.
Okay.
2013, that would have been a big one that stood out. Yeah, I suppose, or even county in 2013 with the club too. I suppose we hadn't won it in 20 years, and the club had gone through a tough time in that period, down to intermediate and stuff like that. So they were two big days. So maybe I know I've won there, but the two of them were in the same season in a matter of weeks. So it's hard to separate the two of them.
Okay. Who's been the biggest influence in your career?
Um, I'd say my mother, just in terms of mannerisms and how to carry yourself, and probably stuff that doesn't have anything to do with football, but just to hopefully how to be respected in a group environment and stuff like that. So I definitely say my mother. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually talking to my own mother about playing GA growing up the other day, and she said she used to tell us, I don't care if you're good or bad, just don't be windy out there, because if you are, I'll go in and I'll carry you out of the field myself. So I always enjoyed that. Yeah, mothers can have a fair influence. They can be harder on you than fathers sometimes too.
Yeah, it wasn't all good too. Yeah, so you get punished when you do wrong as well. But yeah, no, I'd say my mother definitely. Yeah,
What's your favourite stadium?
favorite stadium would be Croke Park or the Gaelic Grounds.
Okay. What's the best score you've ever seen in real life? That might be a tough one to recall off the bat.
Oh, the best score I've seen. Let me think. Best score. Um, Killian's in the first final now was very good in 2016. Just, I suppose, given that the pressure was on it, it was last kick of the game to get us a draw. So that's just one that comes off the top of my head, anyways. So that was a big score and well needed for us to get to a replay. So I'm going to say that one.
That was the one with the sort of stutter step in past player before knocking it over, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pressure kick now. So I'm going to say that one. Kevin McLaughlin's was good actually in the National League against Donegal too, but I'd say he might have took about 25 steps for it. So
I
we
think he
won't
did.
we won't say anything about that.
What's been the biggest disappointment of your career?
I would probably say the all. I was only thinking of it yesterday. The All Ireland Club final we had with Castlebar. It was 5 years ago yesterday against Ballyboden. So we took a right clip on that day and didn't perform at all. So if there was one probably day in a sporting sense that I could have back, that would probably be it, because we didn't perform at all on the day. So that was probably disappointing. You know.
And you were big favourites that day, weren't you?
Probably in some people's eyes, maybe we're favourites, but no, look, we were well beaten on the day, so we could have no complaints. But it was just disappointing, when you put, I think we put 9 games together or something like that, and then just didn't show what we could do on the final one. So yeah, look, that was probably right up there with one of the more disappointing ones. But sure, look, that's life. We move on.
Who's the joker on the Mayo panel?
Oh, Robbie Henley. Yeah. Nobody's safe. There's no filter there at all. So beware at all times when he is near.
Who's the best trainer?
The best trainer, Lee Keegan or Stevie Cohen.
Really? Okay. And who's the best dressed? Obviously, the worst dressed is coming next.
The best dressed. I'm going to say Oisin Mullen. He likes the old the chinos. Now it sometimes looks like he's ready to tee off for a golf event, but yeah, he'd fancy himself anyways. Yeah.
And who's the worst dressed?
Worst dressed. Oh yeah, Killian O'Connor. It has to be Killian O'Connor.
Why is that?
No, he just deserves a shout out for something, so I'm going to say Killian. Yeah.
Who loves the media attention?
Media attention. Who loves the media attention? Not Jeremy O'Connor.
Yeah, yeah. He was only interviewed last week. As you were talking to the
yeah.
Who thinks that the women loved him?
Who thinks that the women love them? Oh yeah, Lee Keegan.
Does he not? Do you admire any player from another sport in particular?
Tom Parsons was another one actually right up there. He'd be right up there too. He seems to be a fan favourite anyway.
Yeah, the curly lads were doing it for him. What player from another sport do you admire?
Player from another sport. Tom Brady, American football is unbelievable altogether. I suppose the longevity and being told that he's not good enough and stuff like that, and continuously come back and prove people wrong. I'd have massive admiration for him, and to see what he's still doing at his age, I think it's just it's crazy altogether. So yeah, I'd be a big Tom Brady fan, to be honest.
Yeah, are you a big NFL fan?
I would be. Yeah, I wouldn't have been up to a couple of years ago, but now, yeah, I love watching the Red Zone and stuff like that on a Sunday evening. Yeah, it's great sport.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. Do you follow a team?
I was Patriots, yeah, with Brady. So I'm gonna stay with them, but they were poor last year, so I was rooting for Tampa with Gronkowski and Brady when they were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, Patriots were 7-9, plus they're after signing a load of players going into this next season, so you could be on the way back now.
Yeah, hopefully now. Yeah, I just got into it in the last couple of seasons, but yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Do you admire any manager from another sport?
Do you know, I'd be a Man United fan, but I'd admire Klopp. Just the way I see he interacts with his players, and you can see it doesn't take anybody to notice the camaraderie with them, and they seem to respect him an awful lot. So, as I said, I'm a United fan, but yeah, I'd like Klopp. I think the way he interacts with his players and stuff like that, they seem to be all playing for him anyways.
Yeah. Is there what's the most unusual job you've ever had? I know I'm after jumping in a completely different direction, but
the most unusual job I've ever had. Well, standing with shaving oil products in my hand this morning, I was right up there. I suppose I'm going to say that one.
Can you think of any funny things that have ever happened to you on the field in GA?
Well, probably getting cleaned a few times now is up there. So I suppose tough time in one or two of the games, and you can be sure the likes of Robbie Henley and that let us know about it. So yeah, that'd be up there. A couple of games with Mayo, yeah, I've had a tough time. You know about it in the dressing room. You need thick skin.
You do indeed. And yeah, from any era, if you could transfer one player to your current Mayo team, who would it be?
From any era, maybe Colin Cooper.
Oh yeah. Actually, now that I think of it, I thought maybe Kieran MacDonald might be another player that would come to mind.
Yeah.
He still seems to have all the flicks and kicks. There was that video of him before one of the matches in 2020 knocking a ball over from long distance.
Yeah, geez, that outside the left just be spinning around training most of the time. Still, I still don't know how he does it, to be honest with you. But No, look, he's been a great addition to us as a team, and do you know what? He's a great fella too. I suppose more so even than a footballer. So I wouldn't know Kieran that well up to last year, but no, we'd be very close now, and I'd say in contact with him most weeks. I've been in contact with him. So yeah, he's a better fella now than footballer, which is saying something about him.
Have you seen any tactical developments in recent seasons? Obviously you hear about defensive blanket, all this. It seems to be getting more attacking. But is there anything that you think that the average viewer mightn't have necessarily noticed that's become a big thing?
No, but I think it's dependent on the team. Certain teams, choose which way they want to set up. But probably in the last season or so, I think it's probably going a small bit more attacking, and teams are realizing that you need to put up be it near the 20 mark in some games, so they're having a bit more of a go. So I think that's only a positive. The conditioning and stuff like that of players is improving all the time too. So yeah, look, I think hopefully the more attacking game and better on the eye for spectators and stuff like that and people watching, I think that's only a positive.
Okay, brilliant stuff, Paddy. Really appreciate it.
Great, Shane. Thanks a million.